Hey friends, welcome back. It is me, Dr. Fuentes, and I am a veterinarian if you haven't met me yet. It has been a hot minute since I've posted something or even since I've recorded a video. So thank you for being patient with me, but I'm back. So today we are going to talk about the top 5 presumptions or assumptions that people have about being a veterinarian. I get asked some of these or all of these questions on pretty much a weekly basis. So I figured I would kind of give you my thoughts, let you know where the truth lies, where a little bit of falsity lies, and kind of everything comes out in between. So hang tight. I'm going to run through the top 5 things that are presumptions about being a veterinarian and hopefully clear some things up. All right. So number 1 is that veterinarians make a lot of money. Let me break it down for you here. Is it possible to make a healthy living being a veterinarian? Absolutely. Being a veterinarian in any of its capacities, whether it's in an animal hospital, whether it's in racing, research, teaching, government, kind of whichever facet or road you go down in vet med, yes, you will be able to maintain a nice lifestyle. That being said, that doesn't account for the 6-figure student loans. So, for example, I can only speak on myself, so I'm going to be pretty honest. My first job out of vet school, I was making, I know it's a lot of money, $60,000 a year. Now, you may look at that and say $60,000, that's a really nice salary. What are you complaining about? Well, I graduated vet school with about $325,000 worth of student debt. And that's just from vet school. Now, since my first job, I've had a few years in practice, and obviously through my experience and going back to school and becoming an acupuncturist and all of the different things that make yourself more valuable in the business world, I have been paying back my loans religiously and appropriately. I've never defaulted on my loans. I pay back every month. And now I just checked because I had to recertify through the IRS. I now owe over $400,000 in student loans for just vet school. So, coming out of school, I was making $60,000 a year. Now, I make a little more than that, but not as much as you think. Many people, oh, you have Porsches, oh, you have opulent vacations. I'm driving the same Toyota Corolla 2010 that literally has Scotch tape on the side of it. So yes, can you make a living being a veterinarian? Absolutely. But it does come at a price. It comes at the price of education. And that's a whole other topic of student loans, education, higher education, and all of that. But you don't come out making all that money for yourself. Number 2, as a veterinarian, I get to play with puppies and kitties all day. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some appointments that I do get to smush and love on some of the most adorable, wonderful kittens, puppies, guinea pigs, you name it. And it's a really nice perk of being a veterinarian. That being said, I would say that seeing puppies, kittens, or young, smaller animals probably accounts for less than 20% of my day. Way more of my patients are older, middle-aged, geriatric, ill, healthy, and everything in between. And even though I love those patients, and they are, in my mind, some of the more snuggly ones, don't get it twisted. You're not seeing puppies and kitties all day. And sometimes you have to see them right before a euthanasia. And sometimes you have to see them right after a euthanasia. And you still have to be excited about that puppy. Now that leads me into number 3, which is euthanasia being the hardest part of my job. Now, euthanasia is always difficult. It is something that should not be taken lightly and is something that is never easy, even when you know it's the right decision to make. It's never easy. But that is definitely not the hardest part of my job. Euthanasia is one of the services that I can give to these animals after they've given us so much. The hardest part of my job are people that are able to do more for their pets or more for animals and choose not to. If you come to me, if your animal is ill for whatever reason, you're coming to me for my medical opinion and my knowledge. And if I present you with a treatment plan, whether it's blood work, x-rays, medication, acupuncture, whatever it is, then having that thrown back at me and saying, well, you're only doing that and you're only recommending that to pad the bill, that's one of the hardest things, because unequivocally and indubitably that is not the case. And I can tell you that 98% of veterinarians out there don't do that. Yeah, is there a bad apple out there in the world? I'm sure. There are crappy people no matter where you go in whatever field you work in. That being said, most of us are doing the right thing and trying to do the right thing for you and your pets. Number 4, that we get kickbacks from pharmaceutical reps and food companies. No. Now, don't get me wrong again. It's possible if you own a practice, you may see some other benefits, but very rarely, if ever, is there a monetary, like a kickback, or a rewards program so involved and elaborate that using one product over another is really going to make a difference. It's not true. The reason I recommend Royal Canin, or the reason I recommend Hills, or the reason I recommend Revolution, NexGard, Bravecto, any of those, is because I believe in the product. I see $0, zero cents from any of those companies. We as veterinarians, and again, because I can only speak for myself, I go to continuing education on a somewhat regular basis to stay up on what the best medicine is, what the best nutrition is, and how to help my patients most effectively. And very frankly, it doesn't matter what company it comes from or who makes it, as long as the data is there to support the medication or the food or what have you, and the ability of me to get it to my clients. That's what matters. I'm not being influenced or wooed, if you will, by any of the pharmaceutical reps. And thankfully, I work in a practice that values my opinion. So I know that the products that we're using are those that are most appropriate, not the ones that somebody might be profiting from, because that's just not how medicine works. And number 5, that being a veterinarian is a really cool job. Not gonna lie, it is. It can be difficult. There can be really sucky times, and you do euthanasias and you see ill patients, and sometimes owners can't do the things, and those aren't the moments that stick with you. It's the animals that you can help. It's the families that you can bring back together. It's that animal-human bond that you get to be a part of. And no, can every owner afford every treatment? No, but that's not the point. The point is being able to do what you can for your pets. And for many people, their pets are their family. And to be able to be a part of that process and be a part of the care team is wonderful. I get to meet all sorts of great people, great animals. I've gotten to travel the world because of veterinary medicine. And I am so lucky and so blessed. And being a veterinarian, I would never change a thing. Would I approach things differently maybe next time around? Maybe. But at the end of the day, it's a balancing act. And it is a pretty cool job. So, those were the top 5 things that I get asked on a fairly regular basis about being a veterinarian in vet med. Hopefully, that cleared up a few of the misconceptions that are out there. And if you have any questions or anything else you'd want me to address, just drop it in the comments below. I'll take a look and I'll see what I can do. I hope you guys all have a great day. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you next time. Bye.